Hello, and thanks for being with us on the New Life Show with Dr. Michael Leitman. Hello, Dr. Leitman. Hello, everyone. And today we'd like to talk about the ecological effect of the coronavirus, of the corona period. I guess you also saw many videos about how when we were confined to our homes, when we were in quarantine, as if nature came to life. We're all sitting at home, no one on the streets, no one in the parks, and animals, they got time to go out, walk in our parks, have a good time. We saw a very strong and quick influence on how the pollution decreased, the water became clear, meaning on all levels of nature, still, vegetative, animate, we saw some kind of relief. We saw some kind of renewal. And from here comes a question, what conclusions do you think that we, as a mankind, should deduce from this? What do we have to learn, derive from this? That man is the only harming creature in nature, and that we have to get rid of people. Nature wants for people to cease to exist. Yeah, the way we see things now. Nature is entirely against us. Then why did nature create people? First of all, he didn't create them the way we are. That's one thing. Another thing is that we have to understand that the form that we have now isn't the form in which nature has created us. We lived in nature, and we've developed from a good and nice form where we didn't harm nature, we were very close to animals. And then gradually, slowly, the ego grew, and it is a harmful, additional force that does not exist in the nature of the still, the vegetative, and the animate. And even though that this ego is what disconnected us from the still, the vegetative, and the animate, and we kind of became beings in and of ourselves, human beings, but still, this is a state in which we see what a harmful factor we became towards ourselves and also toward the still, the vegetative, and the animate. And the still, the vegetative, and the animate, without us, they use each other anyway, but they're balanced. And this, too, is a part of the eco-balance that exists between them, the way that they use each other, or destroy one another, but usually they destroy what has to be destroyed anyhow, with wolves and things, anything that is being eradicated from nature by a different species, is because its time has passed. It has to leave. And therefore, this is how it is. This is also how it was with dinosaurs, with all the things that disappeared and are also disappearing now. We do, and to the contrary, if we do not allow nature to destroy something, then by that we cause disbalance and harmful things happen, like it was with birds in China and other things. And also, we did the same with wolves in northern Russia. That the deer couldn't exist either because wolves didn't eat the ill deer, and therefore the ill deer, the sick deer, multiplied and everyone became affected. So nature's in balance, and it's not that we have to look at things through our egoistic eyes, look at the balance through our egoistic eyes, but we have to make room for nature. And therefore now, in the time of the corona, we've also seen beautiful things happening that suddenly, who thought that here right next to us there are wolves? And suddenly, a fellow, I know him, he's a photographer, and he simply shoots them, meaning he photographs them. A group of wolves, a pack of wolves, simply wandering in the park. You saw the photos. Yeah, I did. And there are other such examples. When I opened my window, I saw that the birds stopped being afraid. Suddenly, they're landing next to me, singing. You know, it's beautiful. The air became fresher, the water became fresher. Come on. All in all, we've been quarantined for just a bit. We're confined from nature. Without us, were humanity to disappear off the face of the earth, it would have been heaven. For whom, I don't know, but still the vegetative and the animate, they would have enjoyed each other perfectly, really. So from here comes my next question. Are we supposed to learn from this that man has to decrease his participation in the system of nature? Not only to decrease, but man has to correctly position himself in relation to the system of nature, because to simply decrease, that won't help. It's like the wise Alex will decrease the emission of poisonous gases into the atmosphere. Well, we see that nothing comes as a result. The way in which we are right now, we have to disappear off the face of the earth. We have to correct ourselves and to be in balance with the vegetative and the animate. Did the factor that made man corrupt or decrease other creatures in nature is human invasion into areas that they didn't live in before? Meaning, in the past, we weren't that many. Now we're billions, so we've invaded places where previously people didn't live before. Is this what brought upon us a negative feedback from nature? Of course, if we invade an area that is not ours, then according to the will to receive of each and every created being, they want to push us back. It's natural. Does it mean that nature should decrease the population of the earth for there to be less people? No, it all depends on the way we behave toward nature. We can actually add to nature. To add. First, there are several things here. First of all, not to cause harm, that's for sure, as if we do not exist. And if still it would be possible to add something, then we add something good. Previously, you said something that really shocked me. You said that nature wants to destroy us in the way in which we are today, that we want to harm. Let's try and isolate this component. How exactly are we harmful? We have a very egoistic, bad, evil desire where we take no one into consideration. Before I go into life, and I see that in the world that I live in, there's also the vegetative and the animate, besides human beings. So I have to see how do I integrate with them, with all of them, including people, in a good and nice way. So first of all, they won't see me as a harmful part. Harmful meaning what? What is that thing that we have to neutralize? That I'm thinking to my own benefit. As simple as that. Wherever I think to my own benefit, that's called harmful, even in thought. Any creature in nature, as much as I understand, think to their benefit, otherwise they couldn't exist. To their benefit, but not at the expense of others, because if it is at the expense of others, eventually it's not to their benefit. What do you mean by at the expense of others? There's a wolf that eats a sheep for the sake of the integral nature. Again, it means that I enter nature not in order to harm, not with the thought that I am going to harm, that I'm going to use nature only to the measure to which I need to in order to provide, in order to feed myself. And by no means, not in any other way in which I harm nature. So, wait, there's another component here. I'm taking from nature whatever I need in order to exist, like a sheep that's going to like a wolf that's going to eat a sheep. Yes, but by this, I don't mean to cause harm to anything, to no one, but only to use the natural resources to fulfill my basic needs. So, if I take what I need from nature, like a wolf that wants to have lunch, and therefore he takes a sheep, and he'll take the weaker sheep, and by that he actually increases the general health of the sheep. If he takes only what he needs, everything's fine. By that, he carries out a special role in nature, that he is benefiting all of nature by taking the sick sheep. Okay, now, suppose comes man and takes water, takes air, takes soil, takes animals, takes the vegetative, takes from everything that's around him in order to live, to exist. He examines that this is exactly what he needs in order to meet his basic needs. Does a wolf do this examination? Yes, he naturally does. He doesn't eat more than he needs, and no more than one sheep. And if he's satiated, he doesn't need those sheep. And how does the system synchronize so that all sheep will work this way? Nature forces us to act that way. Okay. Now, human beings, we're not living in ancient times where I'd used to hunt a mammoth for dinner. Well, a mammoth would be enough for half a year. Well, I'm not proficient in hunting mammoths, but it's not ancient times where we hunt. I go to the supermarket. I have to take off the shelf what I need. What I need, and as much as I need. And here we are facing a problem. And we have a big problem with nature, because we're destroying nature in order to create 1,000 different products, 1,000 different kinds of cheese, 1,000 different kinds of whatever. Do you see this? It is exploiting nature in a bad way. But why? Because it's like a wolf that eats 10 sheep, even though that he needs just one and a sick one. But I won't eat a kilogram of cheese. I'll come and take the cheese that I like, and you'll come and you'll take the cheese you like. We're throwing away more than half of what we produce. Okay, I understand that a person goes to the supermarket, codename supermarket, and takes more than he needs, even if he has the money to pay. And all in all people behave this way. We buy more, produce more, throw away more. All in all, by this, we steal from nature more than we need. Yeah? But how can I take that into account? I come to the supermarket and I take what I need. So you need education. That will give me what? That will teach you how to be balanced with nature. In nature, a wolf does it naturally. You can't. You have the evil inclination. You really want to swallow the entire supermarket. Maybe, but at the end of the day, I'll come out with the cheese that I like, not with all cheeses. Well, it all depends on education and basic needs. I don't understand the problem. The problem is that we do not want to be balanced with nature like animals. And according to our physiological life, we're animals. We're animals and we have to live that way. And this is the healthiest thing for our body, for nature, and that's it. But we're not animals. We're more developed than animals. It's a problem. The excessive is at the expense of our ego. It comes from our ego. This I don't get. A man's brain is much more developed than a wolf's brain, I think. So we developed 1,000 kinds of cheese. It's wonderful. It's like art, creating. We took natural resources and we were able to make plenty of wonderful things. You like spicy, I like salty. What's the problem? The problem is that there's nothing good about it. By that, all in all, you are engaged in things that are unrelated to your correction in the world, to your role in the world. Am I corrupting in some way? Of course you are. You are corrupting, you're destroying the world by creating 1,000 different sorts and kinds excessively. By this, wanting to be better than the other cheese manufacturers, and you have such wars and calculations that no one actually gains from. Now you're talking about relations between people. It's not only that I make 1,000 different kinds of cheese, but I will also be happy that your factory that makes 1,000 different kinds of cheese will go bankrupt. Of course. How does that influence everything? Because were we to relate to nature integrally, then no one would destroy the others. And also in nature, we would have seen that. Well, let's leave that. It doesn't want to eat anyone. It would have been projected from man onto nature as a whole. The destructive competition between people affects the other species in nature? Of course. How does this work? We're animals. According to our body, we're animals. And if we take for our body more than an animal needs, more than wolves take instinctively, for example, then in this surplus where we take more than an animal in our physiological life, by that we influence all of nature destructively. Because we are bringing in our ego on this, which is higher than the animate level of the entire nature. The human ego, what is it exactly? If I understand what you're saying, this is what destroys the system in general. What exactly is the human ego? To be well off at the expense of others, like that cheese factory owner that wants for the competitor to go bankrupt, yeah, to succeed at his expense, yeah. So there are two different levels here where we're erring. The one is that I'm building my own success on the ruins of others. The other level is that in general I'm taking from nature more than I need. Yeah. Are these two levels related, interconnected? It all stems from my excessive will to receive that is beyond the animate level, wanting everything. Everything to what extent? Completely everything. It reminds me of obesity. In the United States, it's a national disease. So this motive of exaggerating, which causes us to be sick, probably causes a much deeper illness in the relationships between people, between man and nature. Is there a general disease of exaggeration here? Of course. In our ordinary life, we have to be like animals. Like animals. Meaning to try and feel how what's good for me, and that's it. But we're not animals. Once I saw such a person. Once. It really intrigued me. I was in the city. And I had a meeting with a friend of mine from the past, and we met. It was abroad. So he told me, you know what, I'm so hungry. Let's go eat in some restaurant. We went to a restaurant, more of a coffee shop. And he took something, I took something. I remember that I was amazed. He was so hungry. He ate a third of his portion. I, who was not hungry, finished my entire portion. And I was looking and thinking, what's going on? It's a matter of habit, culture, consumption. It's something that exists in one, but doesn't exist in the other. I wasn't hungry at all. But if it's already in front of me and I paid for it, how not? It's mine. And he, who was so hungry, he ate a third of what he had in his dish. And he said, no, I don't want any more. What do you mean? Finish it. Like we tell our children, you have to finish. So, the modern disease of man is exaggeration. Our entire culture is that way. All of it. Swallow everything. Be the biggest, best, fattest, so what? Strongest. To specify and understand a bit more deeply, exaggeration in terms of relationships between people. Destructive competition. If I make something and you make something, I wish for you to fail because then I'll succeed. In your eyes, I'm a sheep and you are the wolf. That's it. But that's natural. I want to understand, where does the exaggeration begin? If we think about competition, competition is actually what develops us. We know that if you look at someone else and he's successful, it gives you a drive to invest, to succeed, to develop. If we extract competition from humanity, there will be no development. So, why are you bowing so strongly to your God of development? Who and what is he? Development, development. We have to go out. We have to conquer, enjoy, go to Mars, space, things. What do you have as a result? Besides your ego, that you want to show everyone that I'm king of the world, I'm in control. What do you have as a result? Or someone that came to Do they feel themselves happy? By that, did a person on the way did not cause our planet and other people different forms of suffering? Does he not endanger all of us, himself, the entire planet, who knows in what way? Look what we came to. What do we need? A-bombs for, H-bombs from, arms race for, the oceans that are overpolluted with garbage. Look what's going on. During the coronavirus, we didn't go to work for 2 months. And look at the relief. How healthy we've become. And the air, the ozone, the water. So what's our problem? Why do you need 1,000 different kinds of cheese? And if in 10 years you'll have 2,000 kinds of cheese, will you be happier? This is how you measure your happiness? Let's measure man's happiness. It depends on man's education, of course, but if, for me, it's enough to eat like that friend of mine that ate third of what's in his dish and I ate everything, and he enjoyed it, and he really covered his appetite, his hunger, and for me, I just got fatter. We have to change ourselves and reach a state where we are a part of integral society, and that here we really have to change ourselves for us to relatively live correctly in nature, with nature, integrally connected with everything. So we'll also go to our parks, why not? As it says, and the wolf shall dwell with the lamb. This is a very comprehensive approach, depending only on human beings. I'd love to talk about this some more. If you can summarize, what's the central thing a person should learn about his system of relations with nature? That his entire well-being and future depends on his balance with nature. Thank you very much, Dr. Leitman. Thank you for being with us. Till next time, all the best.